show. We got two scorer lords in the building, being as though it's March Madness. This is the March Madness episode. We got two local greats. We ain't gonna get that confused. These guys got a lot of buckets in college and in the pros. Today on the show we have Dionte Christmas and DJ Stefon Jackson. Thanks for coming on, fellas.
What up? Appreciate you
for having me, man.
No, we gonna get right into it. Absolutely. DJ got a ton of buckets. Dionte got a ton of buckets, right? We in the middle of March Madness. Who do y'all like to win the tournament this year?
Go ahead, Dionte. You go first.
Me right now, honestly, I got Gonzaga, man. Them dudes look unstoppable. I think they got probably the best two guard in college. No, I'm sorry, Cade Cunningham is. But that kid Suggs is playing great, man. But I think they got everything, man, from the point to the big, man. Them dudes good.
What about you, DJ?
Oh man, I was on that same wave too. You know, I've been watching a lot of college basketball. Obviously, Gonzaga, like for me, is like the best team in college basketball, hands down. They got the bigs, they got the guards, they got the wing players. They like a complete team. But I also like Baylor. Baylor. These a good team.
I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story about Suggs.
Yeah.
So Suggs played on Under Armour.
Right.
But when he was in 9th grade, he was playing 17U.
Okay.
So,
that's crazy. Damn.
Yeah, so he was playing against our 17U and supposed to be playing 15U.
Yeah.
They were down 30. He scored like the next 20 points.
That's crazy. Yeah, Young is serious, man. I'm sorry. He's serious.
That's how good he was. So we going to jump right into it. DJ, what part of the city you from?
I'm from Germantown. I mean, a lot of people mistake that from Uptown. I mean, it's close to Uptown, but I'm from Germantown. Like, it's right before you get to Uptown. So, yeah, that's where I'm from. Brickyard, Germantown, Ashby Street. That's where I'm from.
What about you, Nice?
I'm from Uptown. Was born and raised Uptown. Forest Ave, but I spent most of my time on Shelton Avenue, around Marshall State area. You know. I mean, people around our age know what Marshall State is. You know, we had it popping for a little bit.
Well, Dionte, how you start hooping though?
Man, it's funny, man. My dad always made me play. I was a three-sport guy, man, when I was a kid. Baseball, football, basketball. So when I turned 12, my dad told me I had to choose a sport. And at the time, basketball was my worst sport. I was really good at football. And I was 12 years old, and when he asked me the question, like, all right, now, what you gonna play? You 12. It was basketball season. All my friends was playing basketball.
Right.
So I said, I'm playing basketball. He was like, all right, from this day on, you ain't playing nothing else, you playing basketball. You're going to, do your homework and go to practice, whatever. That's how we gonna rock. And he was my coach.
Right.
And I promise you, I played on my dad's team, and I didn't play one game. I didn't play a minute. He benched me the whole season. and this is a true story. You can ask him. And then the next year, he kept putting me in the gym, go to practice every day. Next year, I go to Coach Eric. You know Coach Eric? Every Monday, I get cut. So everybody out there, our names is written on the paper. If your name is on it, you cut. So everybody said, I'm like, damn, I got cut. Everybody like, it's cool. So my dad walked over to Coach Eric and was like, look, I know you cut my son, but is it cool if he come to every practice? He like, yeah, you my guy. He come to every practice, but he can't play in the games.
Right.
And that's what I had to do for a whole year. Come to practice and not go in the games.
What about you, DJ?
My story is a little similar. I started off playing football. I mean, football was my first love. Playing for the Mount Airy Bantams and Northwest Raiders. I loved it, football, but I started to get a little growth spurt. I started to get a little taller. My knees started to hurt. And I was just bigger than everybody that I was playing with. So some guy named Officer Irv at the Germantown Powell, he introduced me to basketball. And I started liking basketball. I started playing with like Chanel Ross and all the guys from Germantown, Danny Rump, Ant Greens, and all of them used to be in the Powell all the time. And I just found the love for basketball. And then plus I was getting taller, so that's how I started playing basketball.
But at what point, DJ, did you feel like I'm nice, I could hoop against anybody? Was that before high school or during high school?
No, you gotta understand, I was a late bloomer. I only played one real year of high school basketball. I never played like nowhere else. I just played that 1 year at King. I played for Germantown, but I got kicked off the team for fighting. And I got kicked out of Germantown, so I had to go to King. So I only played that 1 year of basketball at King. So
That's crazy.
I had that 1 good year at King behind Wayne Marshall. And that's when I knew I had a chance to play somewhere. So that was like my outcoming year right there for King.
So when did it become for you? I'm good at hoop. Like I could play. Like I'm one of the toughest in the city.
Yeah, I mean my story is so crazy, man. So like, so fast forward to me, playing basketball. I go into Fells. My freshman year wasn't good enough to play varsity. Obviously, I was on JV. Sophomore year, I get cut from varsity. Yeah. So again, that whole summer, I meet John Arnett. My friend, best friend to this day, Javon Austin.
Mm-hmm.
He walks me down the block to this guy.
Hold on. Yo, that dude.
Everybody be on Javon's head.
Yo, Dionte say something, he gonna follow right up with his opinion.
That's my guy.
That's
But yeah, he walked me down the street to this guy named Guy Morehouse, which is John Arnett's second coach.
Right.
Fast forward, he takes me to go to work out. So John see me like, man, I like this kid, whatever. So I tell my dad, like, yo, you cool, you can be a coach. So we worked out that whole summer, every day. He came and picked me up, worked out every single day. My junior year, I make the team, average 21.
Right.
Now that next summer, everybody like, well, we want Christmas. John like, you ain't going nowhere. Stay at Fells. You don't care about no championship. Develop your game. Just keep going forward.
Right.
And at that time, I was working out with pros. I'm talking about Iverson, Lynn Greer.
Right.
Like I'm talking about Steve Smith, Carroll, Matt Carroll,
right.
Them guys. And I knew I was good, but I didn't think I was that good until my senior year. I went in and it was averaging like 27 a game. And I came out that year, I'm like, man, I can hoop. And then I end up linking back up with DJ at Lutheran. And once we linked up and we was doing, it was like, yeah.
We gonna get into that.
It was on.
DJ, why do you feel like you couldn't keep it together at Germantown and King?
I think my love for basketball was different. I mean, obviously, a guy like Dionte, he loved the game of basketball. And I really think
I used to beg this boy to come to workouts, boy.
Like
I used to beg him.
If you know me, you know me. I ain't do no workouts. I ain't do no I ain't do no workouts. I ain't practicing work on my game. I wasn't in the gym all summer. I wasn't doing nothing of that. I was stuck between two worlds. And like for a lot of people that don't know me, I was around Brickyard all day, stuck between whether do I even want to play basketball or do I want to sit out here and be with these guys, or do I want to go hang with the old heads? So I was just stuck. I was confused as a kid. So I mean that's what really altered my plan at King and Germantown. Like I really was. I wasn't raised like Dionte and them, whereas though he had a dad, a good dad, great dad, June. June even called me his son. Like he raised me just like he raised Dionte, but Dionte always had that like father figure in his life to push him to be the person he is today. And I ain't have that. I just had the streets for real. Like the streets really raised me. So that's what really altered me, my basketball playing days and all that, and just juggling that. So.
Who got the Lutheran first?
I got the Lutheran first.
He convinced me to come.
Yeah.
For real.
I got the Lutheran.
Because I wasn't going to Lutheran. My dad wasn't
it wasn't
going on.
That was a tough deal to break with June and with everybody in Dionte family just to get him
like
to
the
come.
Camp, like just the camp, like me, John Arnett, my dad.
Yeah,
but I talked to DJ, like we were talking there, he's like, man, this come is not really what you think it is. It's cool.
Right.
And everything legit, man, just come, man, it's gonna be the best thing for you. And I used to go to like the practices, they used to be going crazy. I was like, man, I need to get there.
What was so when you get the Lutheran, did you go to Lutheran DJ because you felt as though that was your only chance to get a scholarship?
Yeah, I went to Lutheran. I'm gonna tell you a story, right?
Move closer to the mic, DJ.
I'm gonna tell you a story, right? I was in King. After my final game in King, my last year, my senior year in King, my final game, I left King. I just left King. I ain't go back to school or none of that. I left King. I got with Sco. And Sco was like, you gonna come to Lutheran. So I went to, I ain't even finished class at King. I ain't finished my senior year at King or nothing. I went straight to Lutheran at my final game at King. I went straight to Lutheran. And Sco put me on the circuit. And once he put me on the circuit and I started playing with the older guys like Omar Thomas, Snake, Zachy Boyd, Marvin Kilgore, Charles Brunson. Them guys was older than me. And he had me on the circuit with them and playing with better competition than the high school level was, because they was damn near grown men at the time. So I was just playing with them and everything worked out.
So Dionte, for you, I know DJ convinced you to come, but with your stability in the crib, with your pop and your mom, how much convincing did it take for your pop to let you go to Luther?
Man, it's a lot, man. Honestly, no. I'm glad DJ was there, because I don't think if DJ was there, I don't think I would have won.
Right.
To be honest, bro. Because like you said, like my dad, knew DJ. That was like his youngin.
Right.
And, my camp obviously was my dad, John Nett, and Guy. And it was more convincing John Nett, because that's the guy that my dad listened to.
Right.
So when I actually sat down and talked to him, and then John talked to Sko, all the parties came together and was like, all right, this is the best for Dionte. Not for Lutheran, not for Sko. This is the best for him.
Right.
And Sko had 10 eyes on him, so he couldn't mess this up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when the schools got involved, then it really was, So Sko, I thought he did a good job with, me and DJ and everybody, but more so myself, because my camp was behind me and watching over me. So Sko really didn't have room for error. You know what I mean? So it was good for me, man. That was the best.
What was your recruitment like before Lutheran, though?
Man, low D1. Like me and DJ were just saying, I had like you said, he had Chestnut Hill, but I had like
HBCUs.
Yeah, like just low D1, man. I can't remember. I want to say Albany, Coppin, schools like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And at the time, I was 17, so it was right for me to go to prep school and then get my thing together.
But when y'all got the Lutheran, y'all turned along with y'all teammates, y'all turned Lutheran into something different.
Yeah, it was crazy. It
was
crazy.
Man, it was
crazy.
Y'all didn't even.
You had to be there to see that shit.
Y'all didn't even realize what y'all was embarking on.
Right.
Y'all didn't even realize
DJ was good. I was
history.
good. Grease was good. I'm like, all right, these are all good dudes. Reese was there at the time, and nobody probably even knew that. Reese Rice was there.
Yeah,
we had the guy, what's the dude from DC? He was like almost a McDonald's. We had Bobby Mays from Tennessee. Like we had so many guys there that was good.
Talk about how Bobby ratted on his man.
And it was crazy. So
what was this story behind the Bobby Mays thing?
Oh my God. Dionte, explain the story behind the Bobby Mays.
He was just, he was a funny dude, man. He was out of town boy. He had, I never stayed, so it was a house that all the out of towners stayed at.
Like a boarding house.
Like a house, yeah, because they was out of town, so they stayed at this house. So, like all the guys was there, and one day a few guys came to the gym like, yo, the boy Bobby Mays stole stuff and just left. Like he stole our stuff. We're like, damn, what's up? And this boy came, he just took everything and bounced. And we never seen boy. Next time I seen him was when we played Tennessee and I gave him 40. That's the next time I seen that boy. And it was crazy because he really took everything and just left these dudes with nothing in the crib. And like Sko had to replace that, and like it was corny what he did. He was just a cornball, man. He was just.
So was this in the middle of the season?
Yeah, it was like the middle of the season is happening.
Yeah, it was like the middle of the season. He just picked up and left.
He just picked up and
took
rolled out.
all them out of town guys stuff.
And he took all his stuff and just left.
And then when he started telling, like when he started
saying,
telling,
I see interviews and stuff. Like I wasn't allowed to do interviews because it was forbidden. Coach Chaney forbidden freshmen to talk. So I was cool with that. Because that's all everybody wanted to talk about was Lutheran.
Yeah.
Because he started talking to people.
So that whole year was good for you because you ain't had to say anything.
That was cool. They couldn't even walk over to me, but they wanted to, but they couldn't.
Right.
They couldn't.
Yeah, they was trying to crack that case bad, that Lutheran case. Like ESPN came to our school like 4 or 5 times trying.
Because a bunch of y'all from Lutheran went to
UTEP. So they was trying to figure out what like 12 players went to Division I. Like what was going on? And Bobby was just telling everything.
Yeah, Bobby was saying stuff that was just unnecessary.
Yeah, he was just telling everything.
Now we talked about this off the air a little bit, but Dionte, before we tell the Temple story, what other schools were you considering besides Temple?
I had a few schools. I had 2 schools with this dude, with DJ. It was LaSalle and USC. I was considering them highly only because of DJ.
All right, before we elaborate, why didn't y'all go to USC?
Honestly, I told her before off air, like I really wanted to go with DJ to USC, but USC I played LaSalle that night when he spoke to us We like, damn, that's a good move. We're gonna go on a visit. Yeah, we're gonna bring both of y'all. They played LaSalle. LaSalle beat them by like 20, and they flew back to California and they fired the coach. And that was a wrap for that.
Henry Bibby was out of there.
Was LaSalle, from both of y'all being uptown, was a LaSalle a real possibility for y'all?
Yeah, it was. It was. He might say it wasn't, but it was, man. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday. The coach came to Belfield and got me and Dionte. We went outside. We sat in the grass.
I remember that.
We sat in the grass. We had sat in the grass and we talked. He damn near, no exaggeration, he damn near cried. It was tears coming to his eyes. He was like, if I can just get you and him to come to my program, I feel as though y'all can change the whole LaSalle culture together. And I was feeling him. I was like, man, because I know how me and Dionte play together, how we work, and I think we would have changed the culture at LaSalle. But, you know, stuff happened. Dionte went his way. I went mine.
But just keeping it, just being a basketball aficionado, y'all games is so different, and people don't even understand it could have worked because y'all games was so different, but similar in so many ways. Dionte, how did you develop the in the gym range was like if I step in the gym I can shoot it from anywhere?
I was able to shoot the ball, but you know, I think John Nett tweaked a few things in my game, whereas though I could shoot in a variety of ways. You know, coming off screens,
Right.
One dribble pull-ups, things like that. And as I got older, I got stronger and more confidence. So I started to shoot from, you know, further away, or, you know, shooting contested shots, things like that. So that's why people say, like, I shoot awkwardly, because that's how that's how John Nett used to train us. We used to have literally drills, 3-on-3s with no dribbles. So you had to shoot awkward ways, and you had to come off screens and do the things I was doing in college, because that's how I was trained. So
Now, let me ask you this. You got a very unique release point. Was that a part of being taught that, or that was something you just developed early on to get your shot off?
No, it's funny, man. When I walked in the gym, the first thing my dad told John Nett, like, yo, can you change his jump shot? They change it. It's weird the way he shoot. So I had one practice with John. So he went back to my dad, like, yo, don't touch his jump shot. Don't touch it. Wow, man, look weird. Don't touch it. It's unique. He make shots. He make them, and he make them in a unique way. Don't touch his jump shot. He was like, you see Sean Marion? Ain't nobody touch that. Don't touch his jump shot. He like, all right. And then years later, it was just crazy. I remember the first offer I got was in John practice. It was from Coppin State. They came and gave me an offer. I'm sorry, it was from Albany. I think it was Pappy Smith. He coached LaSalle. I think he was there. And they said, we're going to give your son a scholarship. My dad said, are you going there? He told me that. I swear to God. He told him, like, yo, you got it. And John was like, oh, wait, hold on, wait. We ain't going to do that. Like,
but before you go on, though, can you explain to the audience, like, back then getting an offer was huge.
That was huge.
It wasn't
a Division I offer, period. Like that.
I see kids now get these. I'm like, man, y'all get UConns and Miamis.
5 to 10 in one day.
Jesus Christ, I was averaging 30 in high school. I was looking at Coppin State.
Now, before we get to DJ, today's game, the way it is now, if you was a sophomore at the college of your choice, you think you'd be draft ready? Just the way the game is now, do you think, like, doing what you did in college?
It's crazy. I think I would have been doing that, but more. These kids is so skilled, man. It's crazy. But doing what I did in college, I think I would have been, to be honest, man. I really do, man. Like we off air, you said, you know, you're young, and I don't want to say his name right now, but
Right.
You're averaging 20.
Right.
He ready.
Right.
I'm like, man, how can you say that? I averaged 20 as a sophomore. And they was like, you still got time to go.
Yeah.
But this young is so skilled, and he doing what he doing where he at. It's crazy.
But to expand on that, and this goes for both of y'all know now the more the scouts see you, if you make it to be a junior senior, it's like they get tired on you. Yeah, they start dissecting your game at a high level.
I think that's what happened to me, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, I know I stayed too long. I mean, I was averaging 20 as a sophomore.
Now for you, DJ,
and I had a reason why I stayed.
Dionte stay home playing at Big 5. You go to damn near Mexico.
Right.
How did UTEP, the whole UTEP situation, and if it wasn't UTEP, where would you going besides USC and LaSalle? Because both of them situations didn't work out.
I mean, at the last minute, I had got an offer from UConn at the last minute. And I guess I already had made up my mind that I was already going to UTEP. I think I verbal to them and everything. I went on a visit. And UConn came to the picture at the end. But that's that was one of like my dream schools to play at UConn and all that. And when I passed that up, it was heartbroken. But at the end of the day, I think I made a good decision. And going down to UTEP, playing at UTEP, it was a culture shock to me. I mean, you get out there, it's all Mexicans and dirt, and this is something you ain't used to seeing in Philadelphia. Like, it's a whole different atmosphere out there. But I mean, the fans, they love basketball. You the only show in town, so you mainly like you the NBA down there. So
that's tough.
I mean, yeah. So just to have the whole community focus on college basketball or college football is like a great atmosphere. So
That's nice.
I had fun there.
What was the biggest adjustment for you? Because me knowing you and knowing your story, you hadn't really been out the hood much or out of the area much. How did you get settled into UTEP? Like, all right, I just gotta figure it out.
I mean, it was hard, man. I mean, it was real hard. I mean, being as though I had other players from Philly come down to UTEP, it was a great deal because having like Maurice Thomas, and then I had Marvin Kilgore come down, then I had Malik Alvin come down, and just them being from Philly and being around them, it was good. I mean, I got homesick at times, but I think just having that, it was good for me.
It should have been University of Texas, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it should have been. Yeah. I mean, we had three players on the court. Then we had like 4 people on the coaching staff from Philly.
That's crazy.
So it was like, yeah, it should have been. They did it. Matter of fact, I got an article that I'm gonna give you one day. They did a Philly thing at UTEP. Like they had all 5 of us like in a picture together, and they was calling it Team Philly or something.
That's love.
I remember, of course, y'all know OT like family to me.
Yeah, OT,
and he was like, you coming down here? And I'm like, bro, like being from the projects, being from North Philly, it's like
Texas,
El Paso. Like you heard of Houston, you heard of Dallas. It's like where's it at again?
It's always like, damn, DJ out El Paso, that's crazy.
It's right next to Mexico, man. I'm telling you.
And then the airport was crazy far, right? From the school,
from the campus. Yeah, it's like a 45-hour ride from the campus. But you right, like I can look out. I can be at school, and I can look over the hills, and there go Mexico right there. So it's like UTEP right here, and Mexico right here. Like you could walk to Mexico from the university.
Now, nice. I thought you was going to St. Joe's.
I'm gonna make a long story short. So I have verbally committed to St. Joe's, man, because they had told me and my dad, that they didn't have enough scholarships, so they was going to take one from somebody, which was a walk. I don't know who they was going to take it from, and then give it to me the next year. So it couldn't be out there that I verbally committed. But we had a handshake thing.
Handshake agreement.
So they gave me SAT classes to prep me for the next year. So I stopped my recruitment. I'm going to St. Joe's. That's it. Fast forward, me and my dad go to Conshohocken tournament.
Down the Frio.
Yeah. So the assistant coach walks in with a shooting guard, with a guard. So me and my dad look and see. They're like, hey, I thought y'all said y'all wasn't recruiting more guards. Right. Okay. So we don't say nothing. So we open up. I reopen my recruitment. So I'm like, all right. So then Temple comes along. So now I see Dan Leibowitz everywhere I'm at.
Right.
Me and him getting a connection. You know, Temple was, John Hurnett people. That's Marty there. I look up to Marty, Mark Tyndall, my teammate at the time in the summertime, and I'm like, look, man. So I'm at this tournament. I want to say in Virginia, and I was done with the whole recruiting process. And Dan Leibowitz was up there 7 a.m. We had the first game. I remember I was with DJ. No,
yeah.
I don't think I was with DJ.
We won that.
7 a.m. in the morning, we had a game, and Dan Leibowitz was there. He the only coach in the jump. Just no cap. Only coach. Like, why you here? For you. Like, man, I'm tired of this, man. Come here, I'm coming to Temple. Like, what? So he take me in this room, like a broom closet. You serious? I'm like, yeah. He like, hold on. I call Coach Chaney, yo, it's done. Fast forward, the next day is in the paper. Dionte Christmas commits to Temple, all this. John Arnett picks me up. We're going to workouts. Where workouts at? St. Joe's. He said, yo, did you, congrats, did you tell Phil Martelli what you did? I'm like, what I supposed to do, call him? He pulls over on the highway, Skip. No cap, on the highway. Call Phil. Yo, what's up, Phil? Hey, what's up? First thing, Phil, you know your boy jerked me. He like, dang, speaking of that, we on our way to St. Joe's. He with me. All I see is this, John handing me the phone. I'm like, hello. I'm like, what's up, coach? I was like, look, man, I apologize if I did anything wrong, but, I felt as though Temple was my best. I mean, he starts snapping. You never gonna beat me. You never gonna be this. You never gonna be that. You and your dad not allowed on my campus. If y'all come on my campus, I'm getting y'all locked up. All this. So I was like, look, man, my apologies. I know how you feel. It's cool. No, I'm telling you, never gonna beat me. You never gonna be this. Okay. Give John the phone. John snap. They hang up. So now John turn around. We ain't going there. All right, cool. Sunny Hill game next week. Guess where that's at?
St. Joe's.
St. Joe's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Me and John get out the car. I'm talking about the third assistant is at the door looking.
Looking for you.
Just watching me. Unpacking, getting John the basketballs. I walk in, John said, go in the locker room, get dressed. When I come out, the second assistant right there. Now I'm just super nervous. Now my pop walk in. We on the court laying the ball up.
Right.
We in the huddle. Phil Martelli sitting right at the end of the bench, just staring at me. I'm like, so we playing. I'm just playing nervous. John caught timeout. Come here, Christmas. Ain't no time. Come here. I don't care if he's sitting right there. Play your game. This is what we doing. My pop stood up. He's like, your dad here, I'm here. My dad like, yeah, I'm here. We ain't worried about that. Leave that alone. And to get back to Coach Chaney. Coach Chaney goes to Temple 6 in the morning the next day and sits outside in the rain waiting for him.
At St. Joe's?
Dan Leibowitz had to come get him.
Wow.
This is a true story. It never got out though. It's a true story.
That's the first.
Dan,
that's the first.
Dan
on the
Leibowitz
show.
had to go get him. From, and he, yo, don't ever disrespect my kids like that. Chaney was one of them.
Yeah, Chaney.
He was one of them.
But out of respect for John Arnett, God bless the dead.
Yeah.
The fact that he gave you that phone and made you
Yeah.
honor up to what you did. It's not enough for that.
Yeah.
It's not enough for that going on with these young kids nowadays.
It's not.
Y'all don't know how many kids.
It's hidden by these dudes.
So for me, it's like on my end, you think you got a kid wrapped up. You talk to this parent, you talk to the uncle, the handler, whoever it is.
The handler.
No, bro,
the kid. I don't believe I got a kid until he in a uniform, and I still don't believe it because it is. And I love what I do, but the kids ain't got no loyalty to nothing because ain't nobody never taught the kids what John taught him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where the great areas come in. Like, and because you did that, your pop, Coach Chaney, Dan Leibowitz, we riding with you.
Yeah.
But I can't. Some of these kids, I can't do that for. They don't do nothing honorable.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Now, Dionte, what would you say your toughest game outside of your toughest regular season game was at Temple?
That's it. You know what's crazy? Everybody say Tennessee. That's crazy. But to me, my sophomore year at Penn, it was Duffy first game back. We playing against Penn. It was sold out. And you can go on YouTube right now and look at it. 2007, Temple versus Penn. I had 34 points. We was down 1. I hit a shot with 5 seconds left on the clock, and Deion Dakins fouled Mark Zoller to in the game to beat us with 1.2 seconds left on the clock. I had 34. I had the game winner.
What y'all lose by 1 or 2?
2 points.
He fouled him on a 3?
On a 3.
Now, what about you, DJ?
It's crazy.
Oh man, I had so many. It was like
He said I had so many.
yeah, because I always had Memphis in my conference, so it was like.
Was that the game?
Like memorable game, bro. Like,
but you and Marv went at Derrick Rose.
That's the game everybody
on
remember.
TV.
We played. I think Memphis was #1 in the country. We had them against the ropes with like 12 seconds left.
I watched that.
We had them against the ropes. Hey, I can say that was That was probably like my most memorable game. I had 28 points.
Now my most
Missed
memorable
about
game.
easy buckets, but yeah, that's probably like my that game we played Derrick Rose and
Let's keep it a buck. Both of y'all are the definition of loyalty, right? When it comes to staying at the same school and finishing what y'all started.
Right.
How do y'all feel about the climate now where these young boys don't put no stock in to stand anywhere? They out after a year in the middle of the semester, all of that.
Well, again, that's how you was raised. I was taught. That's why DJ just asked me before you got on the air, you ever been to Vegas? No, because I played with John Arnett.
Right.
And I wasn't going with no other team.
Loyal, yeah.
And if I did, John said stay with them.
Yeah,
That's how I was
loyalty,
raised.
yeah.
I was raised on loyalty. Even in high school, I got offered to come to Alany, Doherty. John Arnett, stay right where you at.
Mm-hmm.
It's loyalty. I wanted to leave Temple my freshman year. My dad said, no, we ain't doing that. We're going to work hard and get right back to what we need to get at. That's what happened. Kids not raised on that now. They like one AAU team, they go to another one. They don't like this AAU, they go to another. So when they get to college, it's the same thing.
A young boy told me the other day, he said, I really want to come play, but they got the best book bags and sneakers over here.
Oh my God. That would have broke my heart, man.
Yo, it's bad.
Hearing that dumb shit.
It don't break my heart because
It's crazy, man.
Come on, Skip. A kid over a book bag, because they got nice book bags.
listen, and the kid know as a chance he might go over there and not even play. But the fact that he can look
nice
fashionable,
yeah,
He can look swaggy for Instagram and all that. I'm cool.
It's the microwave generation.
It's bad.
You get instant validation because you got a certain book bag or certain sneaks, but the book bag empty. And I ain't talking about in literal terms. I'm talking about
exactly.
like the book bag is literally empty.
It's empty.
Yeah.
Because ain't nothing in there, no substance.
Yeah, I know.
And for me, like I take my the way I coach. I love Chaney.
Yeah.
I love Nolan Richardson. I love John Thompson.
All those type of dudes.
So for me, it's like I try to be to these kids everything somebody wasn't to us.
To you,
Right.
Right. Dionte is one of the fortunate ones. Super June, I call him June everywhere, but whatever June had going on, he wasn't missing no games.
No.
So I didn't have that. DJ didn't have that. So for me, it's like you try to be there for them kids, and if you coach them too hard, they pull back.
Yeah.
They pull back instantly because they feel like.
See, that's the difference between our eras, though.
It's so
You
different,
you would have did us like that. That made us go harder.
Right.
Like my dad allowed
Yeah.
John to speak to, like coach me. Like I said, I had two pops. Like when John, my dad, I got it. And he going crazy on me. My dad like, yeah, he right.
But
You know what I'm saying?
that signifies the morals and principles y'all stand on to this day.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like you try to give all the. I try to give the young boys all the game nobody ever gave me.
Yeah.
Right.
And
you should.
And they don't see
She's
that.
supposed to do that though.
But they see as old head
Oh,
John.
yeah, exactly.
That's why this generation
Well, that's a
messed up,
generation,
man.
man. You know that, Skip.
So
There's a few young boys you can get through too. Some of them out here that's
Right,
I mean,
right.
But for the most part,
When these people like these AAU coaches and these dads and these, when they gonna start telling the trainers, when they gonna start telling these kids the truth?
they don't want to lose the kid.
I don't care.
exactly.
I don't care about losing no kid. I'm gonna tell you the truth because I
Right.
want to be real with you.
Right.
I want to get you ready for the real world. They ain't telling them about that real world.
Yeah.
Well,
They ain't telling them about that, Skip.
And I tell people this
Life
all the
after
time.
basketball, they ain't telling them
Right,
about that.
but the stuff like you said, and I learned this at Penn State: early is on time,
Yeah.
on time is late, and
Yeah.
late is never.
Absolutely.
But y'all both get fortunate. You get to play in a tournament as a freshman, being from
Yeah.
the mud,
It's tough.
and you average like almost 9 points as a freshman. Did you even understand? Like, yo, I'm about to play in a tournament as a freshman.
Nah, I couldn't really grasp it because I'm a competitor, and I really felt as though I
That's
should have
tough.
been playing more as a freshman
Right.
than I was, because I felt as though I was better than everybody. So I thought I was better than the players that was in front of me, and I mean, I had to realize like them players that was in front of me, they've been there before me. I'm coming from high school. They know the system. They know the ins and outs. They know where to be at.
Yeah.
They know how, like, what plays, what situations to run. I don't know none of that. All I know is about I'm trying to get a buck.
Right.
That's all I know.
Right.
And coaches know that as a freshman. You just trying to get a bucket. Yeah, because I don't want nothing else. But as it all broke down, it made me a better player, though, at the end of the day. And playing in the tournament was a great feeling at the end of the day. Now I look back on it. That's why I tell my nephew to this day. I said, cherish these moments.
You play at a pace, DJ, what I would say is no wasted motion. 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull-ups, mid-range.
I try to teach my kids his game every day.
Mid-range madness, right?
Right.
How did you develop that without being taught it? Because nobody taught you that.
I mean, somebody, they showed me the way, but I just took it to another level. I figured, like I wanted to score, so I wasted less energy as possible as trying to score. Like, dribbling was never a thing to me. It was like getting to my sweet spots and hitting the shots. Like, not just shooting the shots, making them.
Yeah.
Like, making all the shots that I can before I even miss
Get
one.
tired,
So,
yeah.
get tired or burn yourself out just doing all the dribbling stuff. So, I was really like that. My coach told me, Tony Barbie, to this day, he said, I'm the most unselfish scorer he ever coached in his life. And he said that because he wanted me to take more shots, and I wouldn't.
Did you understand at that point, in order for y'all to have any success, you had to be one of the primary scorers?
Like at UTEP, like, you don't get much as talent like Temple, and players not just coming out of UTEP just to come out there. You ain't gonna get like players like Dionte had the luxury to play in Philadelphia, Temple, Broad Street. You could get recruits to come down there. So I knew after my sophomore year I wasn't gonna really get a lot of players, but I was fortunate. To get good players that come to UTEP, but they were just young right now.
Got Cunningham, boy.
Yeah, they was just young. So I ended up getting Culpepper, but they was young. I got Arnett Moultrie. He was a first-round pick.
You played for the Sixers for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I had Arnett Moultrie. He was young. I had Julian Stone. Played in the NBA for like 6-7 years. But they was all young, but I got them at young, so I was the older guy. So
yeah.
I got their character. He was young. Well, he was coming from Louisville.
Wasn't he a McDonald's All-American?
Yeah, he never played in the country at one time.
Yeah. So they start getting Barbie stuff. Barbie, I'm going to tell you one thing about Barbie. He's a great recruiter. So he's going to get players in there because he know how to talk. He know how to go in your living room and sell himself.
Right.
And he was great at that. So that's what made him get all them type of players. But them players, when they came, I was the older guy, and they was younger. They was still trying to find themselves. So it was kind of hard. So
now, Dionte, you went to the tournament in 08, 09. What was your first experience? Hold on. Before we even get to that, people don't even understand getting to the big dance is a whole nother level of travel.
Yeah, that shit.
With me,
tell them how when you lose, you be on the jet the same day.
But
the jet be ready for you, bro. You spend a night.
With me, it was different, man, because I kind of knew the significance of the tournament my freshman year because of Marty.
Yeah.
Marty, that was like his goal. He was our leader, our senior, but he couldn't get there. And after that, he just like shut down. And he was just getting ready for the league. So I knew the significance of it, but I didn't know how big it was until, my sophomore year. We had a new coach. We still trying to find ourselves. We won 11 games that year, but I became to myself. I was averaging 20, 11, 18 in scoring. So after that season, he literally came down and had a talk with me and Mark, like, yo, y'all two is my guys. You got to get us to the promised land. By now, I know the significance of the tournament and what making it would do to you. And my junior year, we turned up, and they told us the only way we can make the tournament is if we win the A10.
Right.
So we went into the A10 with a whole nother mindset. Then Xavier was the only team we really was worried about. They was top 20 in the country, and we got them out of here. Once we got them out of here, St. Joe's, that was the first time I beat Phil Martelli. That's why. Have you ever seen that video? I broke in tears. That's the first time I beat him.
Because that's
and he never shook my hand either. That was a rite of passage for you, right? Yeah. It was like me saying, like, F you. You told me I wasn't what I did it. And he never, like, when we did it, clap it, he never shook my hand.
Yeah, he never shook your hand?
Never. He always,
that's crazy.
Now, let me ask both of y'all this, right? So as it's like the numbers y'all both put up in college was crazy, right? But at what point did y'all feel like this gonna help me be able to feed my family?
I want to say my senior year, like, They told me going into my senior year, I thought I could leave my junior year. And honestly, the real reason I didn't leave was my dad.
Right.
I had a great junior year. I won the tournament. I got MVP of the tournament.
Another scoring title, right?
Scoring title again 2 years back to back. I went to the tournament and I laid an egg. I had like 4 points in the tournament.
I remember that. Who did y'all play?
Michigan State. I laid an egg, but they still said, you'd be late.
Now, was that Draymond Green?
No. That was Raymond Morgan, Drew Neitzel, the big dude. Right. And they still said I had a chance. I was like, man, I want to test the waters. My dad like, no, you getting a degree. I don't care about it, you getting a degree. I'm like, all right. I mean, I ain't gonna, you getting a degree. Cool, I'll go back to school. And I was like, okay, this year, straight NBA, that's my mind. That's what I'm focused on. To be the best player I could be, get another scoring title, get this. These are my individual goals. Dan Leibowitz made me as a freshman make a 4-year plan on a piece of paper. I had to scratch off everything. And I literally did everything on that paper.
Checklist.
Yeah, and Dan Leibowitz wasn't even there no more. I had it in my room. I had to check it off, everything.
Now, other than Coach Chaney, what kind of love you got for Dan Leibowitz?
I love him, bro. That's like, me and him still talk to each other. We still check on each other. His kids, I was there when his daughter was born. Like, that's like my guy. He's the reason why I got through my freshman year with like cool, because he always made sure I was on top of everything. Class, basketball, everything. That was my guy.
Now, for you, DJ, your most famous alumni was Tim Hardaway.
That's tough.
When did you feel like, man, I can make some paper hooping?
I mean, it had to be like my sophomore year, going to my junior year. I mean, I was getting a lot of talks. I was getting a lot of talks about NBA stuff. Teams looking at me. A lot of teams was coming. Scouts was coming to El Paso now to see me. So it was around that time, and I mean, I was a killing. I mean, my sophomore year, I think I was averaging 19 points a game as a sophomore, and that's good. Like in Conference USA, coming from 9 points a game your freshman year to averaging 19 your sophomore year. So that was kind of big. That was real big.
That's the same thing I did.
Now, you have.
Oh yeah, I want to say something too. I used to check Dionte stats every game. Like that was like motivation. Like,
Absolutely.
I used to check that nigga's stats, yo. I used to be like, yo, what Dionte have this week? See what he had. I'm like, yeah, I got
what would it have meant to both of y'all for y'all to play when you was at each other when you was at UTEP?
Oh man, I'm trying to make that happen, man.
I didn't want that bad.
I wanted that to happen, man. I wanted that to happen so bad. Yo, every school, my senior year, Barbie promised me like your sophomore, your junior year, he promised me you gonna get a game in Philly. Every school we went to in Philly did not want to players. They all said the same thing. We not letting him come here and score 30 points.
They get 40.
They said it's not. He's like, it's not happening. Every school we went from LaSalle. You
never played in
Philly? No, I never played in Philly.
You would have went for half a dude.
Oh yeah, he would have went. Yeah, he went for 50. For sure.
I went for 60.
He would have had 100 people in the game. He would have had 50 easy.
The whole brickyard.
We would have put Ryan Brooks on him.
Yeah, they would have had to. I would have been going.
Hey, Ryan Brooks is my guy. He stopped James Harden for me.
I would have shot everything, bro. They were scared to let me get a game in Philly.
Now, you have an epic battle in the first round of the tournament against James Harden, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you go into the game of that mindset knowing who?
Absolutely.
What was your plan?
Well, so I'm gonna give you the story behind that. Selection Sunday comes up. Christmas plays against James Harden. That was the big talk. I mean, the day after, news people, media.
Right. Right.
So I get a call from somebody. My dad get a call like, "Yo, if your son outplayed James, he a lock for sure." And my dad like, "Look, you worked all this way up. You gotta lock in. Like we ain't doing that. Even Dunphy, you gotta lock in. He the number 1, 2 guard. You want to be an NBA player? Just sit right here." Eddie Jones talked to me. This sit, youngie. This is you want it. It was in Miami. Eddie Jones live out there. He came and talked to me.
That's where you're from, right?
Yeah. So I go to Ryan Brooks. I said, "Look, young. You stop James Harden, I do the rest. I promise you. You ain't even gotta score. Just do what you gotta do with James Harden." He grabbed me and said, "I got you." He said, "He not gonna eat. I got you. Say less." Cause they played a zone.
Yeah.
And Dunphy put me in every spot I needed to be in. He let me bring the ball up. He put me on the wing. They couldn't double me. None of that. I'm talking about I had 20 the first. I ended up with 30. He ended up with 11.
That's the same year we played, right?
But we lost.
And that's the difference.
We could have won that game. We lost. But James' last 7 points was like so crucial. Like he did everything he needed to do, and we lost. And after that, I knew I was a for sure in. and then all this, you know how the NBA is, but it was
Right.
crazy. I went into that game knowing this is what I need to do.
Was that 09?
Yeah.
That's the year we played him.
I played him.
They play that zone, they hide him.
How did you do?
Oh man, I had the worst game of my life against James Harden. That's because they play a zone.
I was shooting from like literally.
They make you shoot
steps over half court.
Yeah, they make you shoot.
And couldn't
that
miss.
zone, like,
but you was cool with that.
yeah, he cool. That's his game.
And then guess who we would play the second round? Syracuse.
That zone.
It was
30,
set up
30.
for me. It was set
Yeah.
up for me, and we lost to them dudes, man. I was sick.
There's no way James was gonna stick to me.
It was sick. It was sick. Cause James was high. James played his
Yeah,
zone.
he ain't playing no defense.
No, he ain't playing on. They hide him. That's why they hit him in that zone.
It was cool. It was good though. James was good. When I saw
I'm
him,
talking about offense.
He was
Oh
really
my
good.
god, he's so crafty, bro.
Yeah, he's so
I'm
crafty.
talking about the shit he was doing.
He was really
bro,
big. He was bigger.
Yeah,
in the college.
Yeah, he was built like a football
He
player.
was bigger. He was bigger. He was like
His lower body,
It wasn't as tone. He was
Nah.
really big. I was like, damn.
and he gonna bump you to anywhere he wanted to
But
go.
Ryan did an amazing job. He had 11 points. You can look at the stats. He had 11
Look,
points.
the week I played against James Harden, we had James Harden the first night. Then the next night I had Jeff Teague. I played against Jeff Teague.
Wake Forest?
Yeah, we played against Wake Forest. It was the what's that joint? It's the Anaheim tournament. Yeah,
That's
we
tough.
played in that joint.
That's big
And
time.
then we had Patty Mills after that.
Jesus Christ.
St. Mary's.
Yeah, we had St. Mary's after
Hey,
that.
that's nice.
We
Dude.
beat St. Mary's. We lost to Wake Forest by 1 point. It wasn't being.
They was number 1 that year too.
Yeah, they was number 1 that
Yeah,
year. We
yeah.
lost them by 1 point. I had like 36 against
Like
Wake
James
Forest.
Johnson.
James Johnson. It was tough.
You play on the other side of the country. You play here.
Yeah.
Dionte, I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like the local schools haven't had any national success without having some homegrown talent on them
For
teams.
sure.
Why do you think the kids don't want to stay home?
That's a great question, man. But to me, man, I just think it's a little bit of both with recruitment, a little bit of the kids wanting these big school names behind them. When in all actuality, bro, and I hope kids listen to this, man. If you're good, man, they gonna find you. Man, you can go to Chippewa. If you good, bro, they're going to find you. The top guys in the league went to small schools. Steph Curry, Davidson. You got Lillard went to Weber.
C.J. McCollum.
C.J. McCollum went to Lehigh. If you're good, they're going to find you, man. So all this, you need to go to Kentucky and Duke and Tennessee. You don't got to do that, man. And I think that's the little thing because they want this hype. They want this Instagram, this and that. Oh, he going here. You don't got to do all that, man. Just go to where it would fit in, man.
Now, DJ, for you, what's the upside to playing somewhere like UTEP or in Cali or Texas or Arizona? What do you think the advantages is?
I mean, you distraction free. I mean, you don't got to worry about distractions. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Like, you away from home. Like, a lot of kids that stay home, they be distracted a lot because they got family members, got friends, and all that. When you out in them other states, I was about to say countries, so I'm talking about overseas, but when you out in them other states and stuff, you don't got no distractions. You just out there, it's like you on a trip. You just out there playing. All you gotta think about is basketball and school, and focus on that. That's it. You don't got no other distraction. I encourage kids to go out of Philadelphia and go play basketball other places.
Now, y'all both have prolific careers at y'all respective schools.
Right.
Yeah.
DJ, what are you hearing when it's time for you to come out? What are you hearing from the scouts? What are you hearing from the agents?
I thought I was gonna get drafted. I mean, I think I did enough work. Enough body work. I played against all the top players. I mean, I've had good games against all the players. I matched up good against all the guards in the NBA that was won in the draft. I thought I was getting drafted. I really thought I was getting drafted. I think I deserved to be in the NBA. I mean, it ain't worked out that way. So
Now, how many teams did you work out for? Do you remember?
I worked out about 9. I did a couple teams twice, 3 times, same workouts. It was all. But a lot of teams was asking me though. They was asking me like when I go talk to the GMs and stuff. They asked me, "Would you come play summer league?" And I was kind of like, "Nah. If a team overseas offered me a lot of money, I'm not playing summer league." I told them straight up.
Right.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I told them straight. I wasn't gonna lie to you. Shout out to Sonny Hill too, man. I got a lot of respect for Sonny Hill, man. He went to bat for me, and I ain't even expect that from Sonny Hill. Sonny Hill went to bat for me when I worked out for the Sixers, and I went in there, and he was in there with the presidents and the GMs and all that, and he was telling them to take me. Shout out to Sunny Hill. I ain't expecting that from Sunny Hill.
What about you, Nikes? What were you hearing?
Man, it was gone. I mean, I had a bad day, man. It was crazy. I worked out that day, the day of the draft. I worked out. So I had a few agents. I had Channel 10, Channel 6, all the news stations coming to the workout. And they said, well, we want to come to your house because we got a tip that you can draft. So John like, no. I seen this happen before. You're not doing it. They said, no, we're going to mic him up, but nothing happened when he go. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it's up to my pop. My pop like, all right, listen, but we ain't airing nothing if you don't get drafted. We ain't doing it. All right. So I go home. I get a call from, excuse me, a call from OKC. I worked out with them twice, and mind you, I had 25 workouts. Worked out 25 teams.
You had what?
25 workouts. They told me my range was anywhere from 15 to 60
Okay.
to undrafted.
Right.
So I had 25 workouts. So they told me, so I get in there, everybody at my house, 3, 6, they long poles up, everybody outside, what the hell going on? I mean, I go in the crib, people there. OKC tell me if the beat, remember Hashim the beat? If he slips to number 3, we're taking you at 27.
What happened?
So the draft come on. The probability of the beat slipping number 3 was like, we knew that wasn't going to happen. So the draft come on, they take Blake Griffin number 1. Number 2, I'm praying James Harden go number 2. We take Hashim the beat. I'm like, damn. So number 3, they got to take a guard. They take James.
Wow.
At 27.
So y'all paths crossed again.
At 27, they got to take a big. They take Cole Aldridge from Kansas.
Right.
Now, everything after that is phone calls. If we take you and go overseas, we want to take you at 43, but this, that, and the third. I'm like, man, if y'all take me at 43, I'm staying. Well, we want you to go overseas for a year. By the time I get my last call, it's pick 58. Spurs. Same thing. We want you, but my agent, look, we're going to go undrafted. Soon as the draft turned off, the Sixers called me. Christmas, we really didn't think you was going to go undrafted. We would have put a pick and grabbed you. We want you. We give you a contract. You with us. You come to Summer League with us. You with us. You know what I mean? We bring you to camp, all that. I'm like, all right, say less. Then my dad was in the crib snapping on
June was in there
everybody.
snapping.
We had to get the people out the house. My dad was going crazy.
Yo, June was snapping.
My girlfriend at the time didn't know what was going on. She crying. They were just messing there, dog.
But for both of y'all to put that kind of resume together in college, I feel like your hard work went unnoticed because there's no bigger congratulations than seeing your name at the bottom of that ticker, knowing you got drafted, whether it's the first pick or the 59th pick.
Bro, I was getting so used to failure, dog, after that when I made it, when I got that, you made it, dog, it was just like, from everybody, dog. Like, that day it happened, I just kept telling my dad, I'm going to get there. I'm just going to take me a little longer. I'm going to get to the league, bro. Man, they don't care, this, that, and third. Yeah. So, next year I come out, Summer League, go to camp, get cut. Next year I come out, go to the
He was going at it.
They telling me, you got to do this better. They said, I get cut again. I kept getting them calls in the office, it's this big. But Christmas, you ain't good enough. Cut every year.
That shit hurt.
By the time I finally got to Phoenix, I was 25, 26. And the last day, I'm fast forwarded, we in Phoenix. So the last day before the game is usually when they do the cuts. Mm-hmm. And they bring you to the office, you know what I mean? So Jeff Hornacek come out, he like, look y'all, we playing tomorrow, we got a game. Mind you, it was 18 people, it was 17, 15 guaranteed, we had 17 players. How am I gonna make the team? How? It's virtually impossible.
If you doing the math,
listen, it's virtually impossible, right? I call my agent, bro, why am I here? It's 17 people here, 15 people guaranteed. How?
Yeah, how?
The day of that day, we had practice. I look on ESPN, they trade Shannon Brown and Kendall Marshall. I'm like, damn. He's like, I told you to stay, relax. So we go into practice, we pray. I'm like, all right, I'm sweating. I know I'm about to get cut. I knew it. Put our Jones and he like, look, y'all, this the team. Got a game tomorrow. You know what I mean? Bring it in. So I'm looking at PJ Tucker and Chandler Fry like, hey, I'm on the team. Like, what's going on? Like, yo, chill, Rook, chill. Bro, we break it off. The GM, which is the GM, what's my man's name? Oh, so long ago. I forgot his name, but that was my guy. He walked into his office. I jogged behind him, fast. I jogged, tapped him. say, yo, I'm on the team, I'm playing tomorrow. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, man, congrats. Hey, we're gonna keep you, man. You did your thing this preseason, man. We're gonna keep you. And shout out to the Twins too, man. Without them dudes, I would not have that on my resume, dog.
Yep.
So,
Man from Philly is like, oh man, I ain't even if I ain't gonna hold you, even if like we just got a bad resume just coming from Philadelphia.
But you know, I think that come from though, bro. Like again, it's how you was raised. My pop, when I got cut and I quit and all that, I never stopped. He didn't allow me to. So when I was older, I didn't allow myself to. My pop made, yo, you gotta go back. Even you got cut from that team, you're gonna practice with them. He didn't allow me to quit. Some of these young boys, they being allowed to quit and stop. And I wasn't allowed to quit. That wasn't even in my DNA. To quit nothing or give up nothing. Once you start it, you gotta finish it.
Right.
That's all a part of being a man. And Coach Chaney installed that too. Once you start something, finish it. You know what I mean? If you tell somebody you're gonna do something, do it. I told my pop, I'm gonna make the league. I don't care how I'm gonna do it. And I did it. That was my end goal right there.
Now, DJ, you said F Summer League and all that. I'm just gonna go chase.
I was mentally frustrated, bro. Like I was frustrated about the NBA, man. Like
I was so frustrated with
yeah,
the dudes,
I was over it, man. For real. Like I felt as though I should have been in it, man. I felt as though politics and all that. Like
man.
people don't understand. Basketball ain't all about you being good.
It's not.
And
you said that the right way, bro.
Man, it's politics, man. Politics play a lot in decision making and everything. So you could be good, you could be good all you want, but if you ain't got the politics behind you and the other stuff behind you,
oh, you actually, well, I was on teams
you gonna
with
be lost.
Rodney.
Yeah,
But Rodney, he killing these dudes in practice.
you gonna be lost.
But they playing the other dude. Why are you playing this dude over Rodney? Rodney, bro, he is killing in practice. We was in Utah together. You ask him.
That's what a lot of people don't understand.
crazy,
They don't
man.
understand the politics side of things.
Rod, of course, I know Rod like a little brother to me.
Rod. Shout out to Rod.
I think one of the things that hurt Rod was not winning at LaSalle. Every time it came time for Rod to get a upper hand, like when LaSalle was supposed to get Karan Burton, that was the piece he needed so he could play off the ball and do his thing.
Yeah.
When they got Vernon never gave what
been where he was supposed to be.
Right. So I feel like Rod literally carried LaSalle.
He did.
From his freshman year to his senior year to wherever they was going to be, and I feel like he showed up in every big game.
He did for
when,
sure.
when you don't have the machine behind you,
Right.
it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Now, DJ, I know you got calls to come play summer league.
I got calls, but it was like I was so mentally frustrated with that. I was done with it, man. I just said, man, I'm gonna just go overseas. I'm gonna just do my thing over there. I was done with the NBA. I was rooting for Dionte all the time to make the league because that's what his dream was and that's what he wanted, and he kept fighting for that shit. I was over it though. I was mentally over it. I mean, me being kicked and knocked down all them years, I never was highly recruited, and I felt as though I should have been ranked. Me and Dionte, them should have been ranked coming out of high school when they kicked us down and that. And then going all the years and putting in all that work in college and just not to hear your name called. And that shit just mentally draining, man. I was done with that shit. I said, man, I'm gonna go for awards.
Now, we gonna shed some light on some funny times. So Dionte and DJ had a league back Worcester.
Oh my God.
This might have been
That was Dionte and DJ league?
No,
Everybody wanted us though. Everybody wanted
the show.
The show.
The show.
Everybody wanted
But
a piece
the
of
crazy
show.
thing is, people don't know unless she was around.
Right.
That league had more
Oh my God.
college players playing unsanctioned basketball.
Than ever, yo. Oh my God.
Yo, it was like who's who and
the city was there.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy though.
But that's what it was though.
Yeah.
Y'all was who y'all was, and y'all wasn't too big to come back and play in the hood.
Yeah.
Listen, I never told nobody this story. I'm gonna tell the story in the podcast.
Alright.
I ain't gonna go into detail,
Alright.
but DJ had a famous rapper, female.
Oh my God.
He had a famous
Everybody
rapper,
say that.
female, at the games.
Oh man.
DJ was tight with us. DJ was and probably the only couple dudes that can come in my hood and be comfortable and not have to worry about nothing.
Absolutely.
So,
shout out to
something happened. Something happened at the game.
Oh, you know what happened?
Let's just say we got out of there clean.
We got out of there clean. We got out of there clean.
Philly's
man.
a whole different animal, man.
A whole different animal.
People don't
man.
even understand.
I can't believe you remember that though, Skip.
You know what I mean? That was like, it's scary.
Was you at that game, Dionte?
I was there. I'm
about
to say I didn't know what was going on. I was on some.
That's when I got into with Jeff Jordan. Remember we was fighting?
Yeah. And I remember the young lady that was with you saying, "That's how y'all move."
She got low with us too though.
Yeah, she definitely got low with us, and she respected how we moved.
Absolutely,
right.
She was real. She was a real one though. Shout out to her.
Now, at some point, like DJ, I feel like you still had a lot left in your tank.
Yeah.
At what point did you say, "Man, I'm just done. I can't. I feel."
All right, so my last year playing was in Germany. I was in Olive Basket, Germany. Me and Sammy Gibbons, we was on the same team. We had an all-star team. It was a good budget team. I played about 3 or 4 games, and I think like the 4th game, I was playing like 35 minutes. We was up like 20, and I pointed to the coach, and I'm like, Coach Doug Spradley. I'm like, Doug, take me out the game. We up 20. It's 5 minutes left. We up 20. Like, why am I still in the game? And right after that, I got a steal. And when I came down the steal, I just felt my knee give out. And my knee gave out, so they carried me out. I went to the doctors. So the doctor was like, you got a hole in your knee. You got a hole like the size of this in your knee. Like your cartilage is gone. You're going to need surgery. So Doug Spradley, to this day, he came to me. He like, look, DJ. He said, you got about 3-4 years left to play overseas, right? He said, you insured right now. He said, if you don't play another game, they have to pay you for the rest of your life. Germany and the rules in Germany, if you get hurt in the court, however you got hurt, they got to pay you 90% of your salary, whatever you're making, for the rest of your life.
You're giving up free game, because I didn't know that.
Yes. They got to pay you 90% of whatever you was making that year for the rest of your life.
So you straight.
I mean...
You doing okay.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
And we don't count no pockets.
No, we don't count no
Where we
pockets. But that was the smartest thing a coach can ever come to me and say. He was like, now, you come back, you got about 2 or 3 or 4 years left in the tank. He said, but listen, they'll have to pay you for the rest of your life. You just...
Now...
I never played in Germany. Sorry, that's crazy.
Now, Nikes, you still out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This my guy. He's still going at it.
Now, you're about to make your debut if everything go right.
Yeah.
COVID-wise, and Ice Cube's Big 3.
Yeah.
How did that opportunity come about?
So it's crazy. Like it's all about who you know. So I know a lot of them NBA guys, and Reggie Evans, my guy, he hit me. We talked through Twitter on DM. Like, yo, I see you still doing it. Yeah, like you playing the Big 3. Yeah. So he gave me one of the guys that run it, numbers,
contact info.
Yeah. So I got at him. He's like,
right.
I know exactly who you is. Send me, some stuff over, and then I'm like a video or this something.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So I had to go to the doctor and all that, send him everything. I actually flew to LA. I flew to LA last summer to meet with him.
Right.
I met with somebody out there, and they was like, look, man, my fault for having you coming out here, but it ain't gonna be no league. Just stay ready, because next year it's gonna be the same thing.
Right.
We're gonna have a league next year. So I'm like, all right, cool. And they actually put me on the website and all this, Christmas debut, all this. So I'm like, cool. And I actually talked to one of the guys, Josh Smith. I was in LA with Ben this summer, Ben Simmons, for like a couple months. And Josh Smith and the guys out there like, yo, stay ready, dog. Like, it's going up this year. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Now, for your game, even your game, if this was something, I feel like that's perfect as you wind down.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's the summer months.
Yeah.
There's less strain on the body.
It's 1 game a week.
Right.
It's cool, man. It's perfect. Like, and I talked to a lot of guys that played in it, like Nate, my guy Dionte Green. They all playing
right.
Spates. Spates is
right.
my guy. He love it, dog. Like you playing one game a week, you get to fly back to Philly for those 4 days and then fly to your respective city. But I'm sure because of COVID, it'll be a little different, be like a bubble. But yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. And like you said, for my game shooter, I'm not a lot of banging, but it's gonna be cool and it's gonna be perfect, man. So just gotta show out, show improve. That's all.
Now, DJ, you still keep up.
Yeah, I keep up.
DJ low key or sharp on the betting tip, but we ain't, that's none of our business.
A little bit.
You got a nephew that took a different journey.
Mm-hmm.
Makai started at Del Valle.
He was at Del Valle?
Yeah.
Young one I said to school?
Yeah.
Then he went. Then where he went JUCO?
Yeah, he went to junior college.
In Texas, where did he go?
Texas. I forgot the name of the JUCO.
Now, Makai is at Abilene Christian in Division I in Texas.
Yeah.
And they were fortunate to make it to the tournament.
Nice.
And the crazy thing is Makai lives on my mom's block.
Right.
And DJ O'Neal, you ain't even remember that too.
I remember I caught you on that block one time. I'm like, damn, Skip block, what you doing out here, Skip? My sister block, yeah.
Yeah, so how rewarding is it for you to see him chase his dreams and be able to play in a tournament?
I mean, it's real. I mean, he did it on his own too. No cosign. He ain't never used my name to get nowhere. People don't even know that's my nephew. That's how crazy it is. They don't even know that's my nephew. They be talking about him. And I'm like, yo, you know that's my nephew, right? They like, for real? Yeah, so it's real. He earned it, man. He a good kid. I mean, he all about basketball, books. Real good kid. So I'm proud of him. I talked to him last night. He was in a hotel. He was enjoying the championship. Yeah, so I'm really proud of him. I mean, he did it all on his own.
That's what's up.
He earned all of it, so I mean, I'm his praise.
That ain't a bad ride to Indianapolis for you to check that out either.
No, he want me to come down. I need to go down.
They let the fans in?
Yeah.
That's tough.
My whole neighborhood, matter of fact, my whole neighborhood driving down. I think they leaving tomorrow to go down there.
That's what's up.
Like 20 people from my neighborhood driving down there.
Now, other than whether it's the league or college.
I like the college. I like the college game. I really like the college game. I like to see, like, I judge players on if you could play in my era. I think my era was a good era. So when I watch players, I try to judge them and see can they play in my era, or could they hang, or could they even get out there in my era. That's how I like to judge and watch players. But I like to watch the college level because it's more structured, it's more coached than the NBA. The NBA is just freelance and players know what they want.
I'm basketball. I watch kids on all levels. So like right now, like when they put the high school games on TV, I'm a big Amani Bates fan.
I like Amani Bates.
I'm a big fan of.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I like Amani Bates still.
Listen, hold on. Let's keep things in perspective.
Right.
People, I know he's good. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
All right.
But don't tell me he's the next KD because he got too long to go.
He do, yeah. I hate when people do that, put that stamp, because you don't know what kids gonna do or go through. They got a lot before they get to that next level.
People was telling Greg, he was the next David Robinson.
Yeah,
and he never.
I'm about to be in the big three with him. You know what I mean? So
right.
ain't nothing wrong with it, but like I said, you got a wide
Don't
range.
put pressure on them kids like that.
Yeah, but to me, like right now, watching him play, man, he's smooth.
Yeah, I like him.
6'8", 6'10".
Yeah.
I like the kid, the number one player in the country, the kid that's going to Gonzaga next year. You know what I'm talking about? Number one player in this class.
Okay, are you talking about?
He played against Amani Bates the first game on TV.
Chet Holmgren.
I love him. I love him.
Suggs and Chet was on the same team.
Exactly.
So we would play them on the circuit. So that was their unit.
That's crazy.
Tough.
And then I like DeJuan Wagner's son, of course. He's tough.
Wagner, I like him.
And in college, I'm a big Cade Cunningham fan, man. I'm a huge fan of him.
Who Cade Cunningham?
The number one player
from
in
Oklahoma
the country,
State.
might be number one pick this year.
Oh, all right. The light-skinned kid?
Yeah.
The
So I interviewed Cade's college coach, Mike Boynton, the head coach from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, right.
And he said that kid is wise beyond his years.
He's so good, man. He's smooth.
He a leader.
Yeah, he's good.
That Cade, an old soul with a new game feel. You don't see that as much nowadays. Now.
You know what else I like? I like the little guard from LaSalle. I think he's gonna be
Brickus come from us.
God,
yeah, Jameer Brickus.
I like Brickus. I like him. What happened?
I think we lost. Hold on.
Break is tough. You ever seen him play?
Nah, no, watch
Oh, he's tough.
Coachville, he played
Yeah,
in Coachville.
Coachville. He's
Yeah.
tough. Yeah, he's tough.
He like 5'9".
5'9".
I think he had like 2K.
2K points?
2,000 as a high
Oh,
school.
we got 5 more minutes and we out.
Yo, he got the herky jerky shit with him though.
Yeah.
He got the G.
Yeah, we had Jig since he was in 9th grade. He played like an old man,
Yeah, he got that shit.
but he
with
get to all his spots.
all his
Collie
spots.
Wyattish or
He's
faster?
smaller, but he 5'9", but you won't block a shot.
Okay.
And he'd dunk on you.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like he's spinning off niggas. Like he's spinning one way, you coming this way, he spin back the other way. That shit.
That's crazy.
And he
Now, both of y'all have done it at the highest stage, right?
right.
Dionte, you starting to get into coaching and development. DJ,
Yeah.
you got your nephew to look after.
Right.
What's the biggest, starting with you, Nice, what's the biggest piece of advice you want to give to these young boys?
Just don't let nobody choose your path, man. Don't always, again, be accountable. I don't regret nothing I did. My choices. Don't ever regret, doing something. If you do it, stand on it. And as far as basketball, man, just never let nobody tell you can't. I was never the guy that somebody looked at like, oh, he going to the NBA. Never. Never. And, I made it just from not giving up. And that was the main part. It was guys that were better than me, had more talent than me, but some of them just didn't continue. They wanted to go other paths, but I just didn't give up. So that would be my advice, man. Just don't give up on your dream. If you got something, man, chase it, man.
What about you, DJ?
I would just stay focused,
Exactly.
stay hungry, stay on the grind.
Right.
A guy told me overseas, right? He told me, DJ, you only eat what you kill. And I had to go back home and think like, what is he talking about? You only eat what you kill.
Right.
Like he said, you gotta have that mentality. You only eat what you kill, so you gotta kill everything just to eat. And kids these days, they don't be hungry enough. Like they don't want it enough. It seems like the parents and the coaches and everybody want it more than them. It can't be that way.
Yeah.
It can't be that way. So I hope that this mindset and the tradition of these kids that they go on this internet stuff, I just hope it changed and they just get back to the old days where you could focus just on basketball and grind it out and just be you, man. Just be you.
Now let me ask y'all both this, right? Why do y'all think these kids think once they get their first highlight video, they first shout out for something like The Ball is Life? Shout out to A-Dot doing a great job.
Yeah, shout out to Jamie.
Why do y'all feel like these kids feel like after they get a highlight mixtape or they make ESPN top plays, that's the end all be all?
Because they think they made it after that.
Yeah.
They think they made it. That shit ain't over, man. That shit ain't over. That shit ain't never over. Like, once you get them highlight tapes and all that, now you gotta go even harder now. Like, you gotta go harder now. And kids get them highlight tapes and they think it's over. Like, they made it. It's not. They ain't make it. And they got the parent and a lot gotta do with the people that's around them.
Right. I'm about to say that.
Like the friends and the company they keep, the yes men and all that. I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. When that ball stop bouncing, all them yes men and all them people that keep telling you in your ear, telling you this, you that, they gonna be gone. They gonna disappear.
For sure.
For sure. I know that personally.
Now, personally, since DJ brought that up, when y'all both kind of went undrafted and y'all didn't hear y'all names called and y'all had to take a different grind, how much did that entourage dwindle?
Circle small.
Well, me, yeah, I never had like a big. I always had you seen the guys out there. My cousin Mill, Javon, same dudes, but it was people outside of that was always trying to come around. But those guys actually went that way because they thought it was over. But when I got back on it, but by then I already knew what was going on. Right. But I always kept my core four. Can't have 20 and 40. You can't. And they was never yes man. They always told me what it was to this day. So, I never was the guy that had them big crowds. And if you did see a big crowd, 4 or 5 of them was the only ones I was really rocking with. And you know, Skip, you've been seeing me since I was high school. And DJ knew me all my life, so he knew those guys, and it's the same thing.
I really never had a crowd. Like, I always was a little boy. Like, I never really had no crowd. I was around.
A chick.
Yeah, you catch me with a chick. That's about it. Like, probably somebody chick, but that's it. I ain't really had no crowd.
So, in closing, do y'all both feel like y'all wouldn't change anything?
No, I don't regret nothing, and I wouldn't change nothing. That, like, when you say you regret stuff and you change stuff, that means you ain't living your life to the fullest. And I don't regret nothing that happened to me. I don't regret nothing I did. I think my cards was dealt. I played it. I had a good time. I played overseas. I played professional basketball. I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm a college Hall of Famer. Scored 3,000 points in college. I did everything. Traveled countries, went to different cities. I lived a good life, so I don't regret nothing.
Your name in the rafters, right?
Yeah, my name in the Raptors. I might be, they say I'm by far one of the top 5 players that ever played at the university, so. I mean, I did a lot, so I'm cool with that.
You waiting for that Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, if it come, man, then it come, man. But I think, like I said, like DJ said, man, I don't regret nothing, man.
Yeah.
Like, I lived it to the fullest. I've left blood, sweat, and tears in the court, bro. So, especially at Temple, overseas, NBA, when I played, I always left it out in between them lines. So, I don't regret nothing. I done traveled to 40 different countries.
Beautiful.
I done played on every top team on every level in high school.
Passport stamped up.
Stamped up. I had 2.
Right.
I done played for the top teams.
This guy
in
played for
college.
CSKA Moscow, bro.
CSKA, NBA.
Yeah, that's top.
I done played everywhere. So
You can't go no higher overseas. Right. You play for CSKA, bro.
I done played at the highest level. So when I try to tell these young boys, man, it's like, just stay focused, man. You can get whatever you dream to get, man.
Y'all, I want to sincerely thank y'all for coming out and kicking with me. We've been out here for 3 hours, man. I kind of wanted to do this. I've been around DJ. I know Dionte, so people like, it's kind of like when you're doing this, you kind of got to think out of the box. Like,
right.
I know the contribution you made to UTEP
Yeah.
and the city, and I kind of feel like both of y'all go under the radar a little bit too much. Only basketball aficionados or true basketball people understand the impact y'all have had, and kind of why I did it, because your impact is local.
Yeah.
His is somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to thank y'all for coming out, taking some time.
Thank you
No
for
doubt,
having me,
Appreciate
man.
you.
You already know.
Anytime.
We go back.
We were supposed to do the other joint, man, but I wish we could have did that. That'd have been
But
dope.
that was super dope.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna do some things in the future, but I definitely
for
thank
sure.
y'all for coming.
Appreciate you.
Episode 10, that's a wrap. Dionte Christmas and DJ Stefon Jackson. I Got a Story to Tell podcast.